An update in the evil father case, Chad Dorman, or I don't even want to call him a father. The dispatch audio has been released. I'm going to give you guys a fair warning. It is sad to hear. All I hope for these little boys is that they get justice and the mother gets justice. Other than that, I will keep you guys updated.
Female in the background screaming, "My baby." We've got EMS dispatch now.
Have PD expedite. Female here at the station shooting her and her family.
Sounds like we're getting another call from someone in the area. Break.
Good.
Females at the station, or you're on scene? Getting a call now from Misty advising grandfather told her that
there's a male across the street with a firearm. He's active shooting expedite.
the female said that her grandfather was killing everyone in the house and that the female went to the fire station. Break. You're clear, male active looking at 1618.
Engine back 32 responding.
There's a male actively shooting at the firehouse.
Sorry, shots fired, shots fired.
Base is on 99.
24, converting around.
So everyone's aware, there's a 16-year-old female that ran from the original house that was going to the firehouse for help. Not sure she's at now.
63 here, by the way, description of the male to shoot.
Information, the shooting occurred in 65 since the assailant, I believe the victim's at station 33. You want me to dispatch additional to the stage somewhere? Negative. This was called out. The shooting was occurred by the fire station. They all are back in firehouse. So the shooter is a male white, green shirt, blue jeans, front porch of 1965 Laurel Lind. 3 children have been not breathing. Can they advise that there's more than one person with a weapon and shooting?
Negative. We can hear gunfire in the background.
She advised he shot up her entire family. You got the station secured with a female juvenile in here.
He's still out. The shooter's still on the porch. We know.
He was when I came inside. He was still outside. He was in his house.
Not showing his hands, not following commands.
His name is Chad Dorman. Tad Dorman.
If people need first aid and he's not complying, you know he's the shooter, shoot him. If those guys can confirm that there's people that need first aid and that's the shooter, and he's not complying, they need to take care of the victims. If they have to shoot him, then shoot him.
Information. They do have a visual on the male per PD. He's not following commands, so go ahead. 6 Forever 29, 6
21, get at the end here now. Shoot the kids down.
63, we're 21. Get EMS over here.
There's a juvenile patient laying down in the backyard.
63.
Okay, PD's requesting that you respond in reference to the male they're out with. And where's the 34 question, the juvenile?
And we got 3 kids down.
63, do you want them to respond to the Laurel Lindale address? Where exactly do you need them?
Right in the front yard.
Rescue 66 en route.
Do you want us to respond in, Mikey? I've got a female here.
9 p.m., the first 911 call reaches dispatchers. A woman screaming her babies had been shot.
The female that went to the firehouse is advising them that the male shot the entire family.
3 minutes later, a second caller reports a girl running down the street, yelling her father was killing everyone.
There are multiple children in the yard.
Claremont County deputies arrived to find 3 young boys, ages 3, 4, and 7, shot. They say attempts to save them didn't work. Their mother was shot in the hand and taken to the hospital.
When it involves children, that's terrible.
Neighbors like Dan Thomas are left awestruck by the news such violence shattered their rural community's usual calm. 18-year-old Seth Trees lives a couple houses down.
You see this massive police presence up here.
Yeah, it's weird. It's unheard of, you know, crazy.
Tell me what it's like around here.
Quiet, you know, people mind their business.
Nothing like that ever happens out here. This is a quiet country and very nice area. So to hear this, it's terrible.
Deputies say when they arrived, they found Chad Dorman, the kid's father, sitting on the home steps with his boys laying in the yard. He was taken into custody and questioned by detectives.
If it gets to the point where you get that mad, I mean, walk away. Don't, in no way harm your spouse or your children. I mean, come on, just walk away. That don't take, and don't hurt nobody.
cannibal facts that'll eat at you for days. If you thought Jeffrey Dahmer was picky for not eating people with tattoos, Venezuelan serial killer Dorangel Vargas, who ate 10 people, didn't like his victims to be overweight because he thought that they contained too much cholesterol. On Thanksgiving Day 1991, 23-year-old Omaima Nelson stabbed her sugar daddy William before carving him up and cooking his head in a deep fryer and eating him for dinner. In the 1970s, Jorge Negromonte, also known as the Brazilian Sweeney Todd, would bake his victims into pies before selling them to local townsfolk. After murdering and eating his classmate in 1981, Issei Sagawa was released from prison because of a loophole in Japanese law. 71-year-old Tamara Samsonova murdered and ate at least 11 people and kept a diary detailing her crimes. She's been dubbed the Granny Ripper, and this CCTV footage shows her carrying the head of one of her victims in a saucepan.
I want to tell you that we love you, we miss you, and we just want you back home with us.
What's up, everybody? Alright, you guys, so before we get started, if you're not already following me, make sure you hit that follow button and make sure you share this video because we need your help in finding 18-year-old Shalaya Porter. So Shalaya, she's 18 years old and she's her mother's only child. So Shalaya was going to Motivation High School in Philadelphia, and she had just attended her prom. Now, one thing about Shalaya is she was flourishing in school. She was set to graduate on June 9th, and she was supposed to go to Morgan State University. So there, she would fulfill her dreams of becoming a fashion designer, and she would major in architecture as well. Now, Shalaya had a style that was different from everyone else. She really loved fashion, and she really loved doing different things. But on June 5th, something went wrong when Shalaya allegedly went to go visit her great-grandmother.
Shay was last seen in the early morning hours of June 5th near her grandmother's house on the 4600 block of Fairmount Avenue.
So Shalaya's mother is saying that on that June 5th, she couldn't get in contact with Shalaya. That's when she went to calling her phone. Now, after calling Shalaya's phone, she realized that Shalaya had left the phone on the bed. So Shalaya's mother is saying that she also left other important things behind. Now, once she saw that Shalaya left that phone behind, she knew something was wrong because Shalaya would never disappear. So what's even more suspicious is a couple of days later, that would be Shalaya's graduation on June 9th, and Shalaya did not show up to that as well. Now, this is a teenager who was very excited about going to college. She worked hard throughout her entire school life, so why wouldn't she go to her own graduation? They instantly knew something was wrong, so they filed a missing persons report and the search began for 18-year-old Shalaya Porter.
Her family says this is out of character.
Shalaya would have never missed her graduation. Shalaya would have never missed the opportunity to go to college.
So Shalaya's family, they come together because they want to try to figure out where Shalaya is and what is going on. So her family is saying that she's not the type of child to run away, so they don't believe that she went away on her own. And y'all, like they were saying before, she had so many things to look forward to, so why would she just up and run away? They believe that Shalaya is in danger and they are desperately trying to find her.
Come home, I miss you. We gonna get through this.
Kalia Porter doing everything in her power to find her 18-year-old daughter Shalaya, who has been missing for 8 days. Police say she was last seen on June 5th on the 4600 block of Fairmount Avenue.
We just don't know. We don't know, and that's the thing that's killing us most is the whys and the don't knows and things like that.
Now, y'all, this is a story that is extremely strange to me because although a lot of people might think that this might be a runaway situation, it just doesn't seem like that. Shalaya, she's 18 years old. She's doing amazing in school. She's not getting into any trouble. She's the only child. She just went to prom. Why would she disappear days before her graduation? Now, the fact that she left her phone behind, it almost seems like maybe she was running somewhere or going somewhere and coming right back and something had to happen. Not only her mom saying that this is not like her, even her teachers at school said that this is not like her as well. Her family has passed out over 3,000 flyers, y'all, and they are trying to bring this baby home.
Call for help outside of Motivation High School. Family and friends of 18-year-old Shalaya Porter urged drivers near 59th in Baltimore to look at the flyer.
My students listen, so we're just passing out the flyer.
Now, I don't know if they were able to get inside her phone to see who was the last person she contacted, but y'all, there is obviously some foul play going on in this situation. I feel like if they found something in the phone, they would have been said that. I know they don't want to jeopardize the whole case, but it just seems odd that there is no leads. Nobody knows where she went. They don't even know where to start. Now, if you have any information in the whereabouts of 18-year-old Shalaya Porter, even if you're one of her friends and you might know of her talking to someone, or even if you just saw this girl on the street or walking somewhere, please contact police. Now, y'all, this is not a kid that is out doing bad stuff. This is not a child that you have to really worry about. So I honestly feel like she came into some type of trouble. Now, Shalaya is 5'6". She's about 120 pounds. She has black hair, brown eyes, and this happened in Philadelphia. So the family is also saying that she is known to use public transportation. So you guys, make sure you be watching out for her there as well. Share this video, you guys. Blow this up. Let's bring this baby home to her family.
Why'd you get rid of that shirt? It had pieces of my mother's brain stuck to it. I killed Josh with a sledgehammer too.
This is 15-year-old Zachary Davis. He's just been brought in for questioning after a fire was discovered at his house. Initially, the tragedy appeared to be nothing more than an unfortunate accident. That is, until a body was discovered inside the home. Even more horrifying was the fact that the victim, Zachary's mother, hadn't been killed by the flames, but by a sledgehammer before the fire was even started. In about 3 seconds, you'll see Zachary crack, but not in the way anyone expected.
It looks kind of evil when you do that, I'm gonna have to say. I think you know you're doing it.
In this never-before-seen interrogation footage, Zachary is brutally honest as he details his crime, and yet, his astonishing motive leaves investigators wondering how much of this chilling tale is the result of a disturbed mind or a series of cleverly concocted lies. In the early hours of August 10, 2012, emergency services were called to a house fire in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Inside the burning home, firefighters discovered the body of Melanie Davis lying on her bed, covered in blood and brutally disfigured. The single mom of 2 teenage boys worked as a paralegal and trained as a triathlete. Outside the home, one of her sons, 17-year-old Joshua Davis, waited with the police, but his younger brother, Zachary, was nowhere to be found. 4 hours later, and around 5 miles from the home, police spotted 15-year-old Zachary Davis as he walked alone down a road, attempting to leave town. He was subsequently picked up and brought to the Summer Country Sheriff's Office for questioning. His interview is just the beginning of a truly disturbing case, filled with shocking allegations and a series of twisted lies.
This is the Sheriff's Office, and what we'd like to do is talk to you about something happened at your house, and that's what we kind of want to talk to you about. You've probably seen some cop shows and stuff, right? You've seen police shows and things like that. You do have rights and stuff, and so before asking questions, you must understand your rights. You want to go ahead and talk to us about what happened tonight? Yes, sure. Okay. If you do, just exactly what I want to do is make sure you understand that this is a waiver, right, saying you're waiving your rights. What I'd like to do is make sure you can read and write. If you would, read that last paragraph out loud.
I've read this statement of my rights and understand what my rights are.
With his confirmation that he's waiving his rights, the interview gets underway.
You've never been in any trouble, have you?
No, sir.
So, no trouble in school, nothing like that?
No, sir.
One of the obvious unusual characteristics about Zachary is his lack of expression of emotion or emotional detachment. His monotone voice and flat facial expression are indications of a person who is either guarded and is consciously avoiding any show of emotion, or a person who struggles to express emotion because of some other issue, such as a psychotic disorder like schizophrenia, or a developmental disorder like autism spectrum disorder. Though he doesn't offer.
This next case will shock you. Let me introduce you to Erica and Shanita. This is Erica Mae Butts and Shanita Latrice Cunningham. The couple is facing charges for the death of Serenity Richardson at a Charleston courtroom in North Carolina. In 2009, a 3-year-old girl, Serenity Richardson, was found dead. The cause of death was determined to be at the hands of her very own godmother, Erica, and her lover, Shanita. Serenity was on a 2-week holiday to Erica's house when the incident happened. The court heard that this was not the first time the woman had laid their hands on Serenity. In fact, they often had the help of a belt and plastic coat hangers. Every part of Serenity showed signs of abuse, well, except for the soles of her feet. When she became unresponsive, they tried to revive her with bleach and ice, but she was already dead by the time the medics arrived. The women claimed that Serenity had a potty incident, and that they didn't know that what they did would result in her death. As if the abuse wasn't bad enough, the drama that happened in the court made the case even more touching. The trial was a highly emotional affair, and when Judge Deidre Richardson read their sentence, the two women collapsed, screamed uncontrollably, and hyperventilated. Court officials had to pick them up off the floor and wheel them out of the room. Butt's mother also had to be physically thrown out by 3 court officials after shouting at her daughter to get up. Prosecutor Elizabeth Gordon noted that this was the worst case she had seen in 4 years of prosecuting crimes against special victims. Erica and Shanita were both found guilty of murder and will spend the rest of their lives in prison. However outrageous you think Erica and Shanita's case and reaction was, it wasn't compared to that of Michael Madison. This is Michael Madison, who is charged with murder in Cleveland. Madison was an American convicted serial killer and sex offender from East Cleveland, Ohio. The story of Michael is not for the faint of heart. In 2013, Michael was arrested for the murders of at least 3 women over a 9-month period in 2012 and 2013. Michael was born on October 15, 1977, to Diane Madison and John Baldwin. He was the product of an accidental pregnancy, and his father denied that he was his son and had no contact with him. Michael had a tough life growing up. He had a severely abusive mother, and her boyfriends also abused him. Michael later admitted that he had mixed feelings over his mother's death. On July 19, 2013, the police received reports of a foul odor coming from a garage leased to Michael. When they investigated,
this teen took revenge on his ex in the most horrific way. On June 3rd, 17-year-old Madison Schmitz was stabbed by her ex-boyfriend, 18-year-old Spencer Pearson, outside a restaurant in Jacksonville. On this day, Madison, her mother Jackie, and a friend were sitting at a restaurant named Mr. Chubby's Wings when they noticed Spencer sitting at a table not too far from them. You see, Madison and Spencer had been broken up for a couple of months now, but he has been harassing her by following her to school and leaving notes on her car. So when they spotted Spencer sitting close to them at the restaurant, they quickly left. Spencer followed Madison and her mother to the parking lot. He threw Madison to the ground and began stabbing her. Madison was stabbed 15 times. Many of these wounds hit her back, which caused her to be paralyzed. Madison's mother was also stabbed in the head and leg while she tried to protect her daughter. This man who happened to be there intervened and tried to stop Spencer, and as a result, he was stabbed in the hand. When police were on their way, Spencer slit his throat in an attempt to take his own life, but he was unsuccessful. Spencer has been charged with 2 counts of attempted premeditated murder and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
Breaking news, a man has mysteriously vanished while attending a concert with a coworker. Noah was at a concert with a coworker and had been in touch with friends via Snapchat around 9 p.m. until his phone died around 10 p.m. This is all according to family. His coworker told family that he went to the bathroom around 10 p.m., quote, and when he got out, he couldn't find Noah. His mother said, quote, his story is that when he couldn't find Noah, he took an Uber home. She also added that her son Noah lived about 15 minutes away from the venue. He currently resides with his girlfriend and his brother. His mother continued by saying, quote, he could have walked home, but he never called his girlfriend. She was up all night. Noah's mother then contacted his cell phone provider, which apparently told her that his last text messages and calls were sent around 5 p.m. that Monday. However, Noah's friends have timestamped messages from him from between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. One of those text messages was to a friend saying he was up here at the front of the venue. He sent another message to that same friend around 9 p.m., but the friend never heard from him again after that. His girlfriend drove to the venue around 4 a.m. when she did not hear from him all night. She said, quote, all this stuff makes me nervous because it's just like foul play. Things are not adding up. She also added that his friend said he looked, quote, fine and not intoxicated at the show. Noah has been living in Chicago for about a year and worked at a restaurant. He also did some graphic design work for a t-shirt company, his mother said. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
The indescribable pain of two families brought together in circumstances no parent would wish for. Their grief still so very raw as they came together to remember Barnaby Webber and Grace O'Malley Kumar. On this intense summer's day, thousands of students and staff gathered at a vigil on their university campus to pause and reflect and listen as their fathers spoke of their loss.
I've lost my baby boy, and I can't even comprehend how I'm going to deal with it. Myself and Emma and Charlie and all his family and friends. Well, I know Barney will be super touched by everyone that's here, and he loved it. He loved it here. His heart will be with you guys forever.
All of you guys, everywhere that I see of people. Such a lovely sign of the university and the bond you have. Grace was also like Barney, she loved coming up to Nottingham. Look after each other. That's the big thing, is that look after your friends and look after people around you. This is so important.
Grace had dreamt of becoming a doctor. Barnaby was a talented young cricketer studying history. And today the third victim was named as Ian Coates, a school caretaker just months away from retirement. His family described his death as having rocked their world.
Mum, can you just pass my drink that's on the table, please? Thanks.
What? What's wrong with you? What?
Talk to my daughter.
Parker?
Please, let me inside.
Parker!